Signer Dragon goodies are up on Monomoon's website, and for those of you that are interested in picking up the bundle of the Field Centers over here, you will get a special Carly Field Center included, and if you use code MCOL5, you will get the chance to save on your purchase, and we're always about affordability out here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go talk about those top cards from Dimension Force, shall we? Make sure you smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. We're going to be looking at top cards so far out of Dimension Force here, and these are going to be strictly based on my opinion. We're missing about 30 cards from the set so far, so hopefully things will shift up here and be a little different. The first one I want to talk about here is the Ghoulazara. Now, I'm only mentioning this as the first card in the set because I played against a crap ton of zombie decks that are just hacking this as an option. So if a zombie monster or monsters you control be destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Okay, so it's a self-replacement effect. That's pretty good. If this card is banished from the hand or the graveyard, he gets to special summon himself back in defense position, and then you can decrease its level by 1. And you can only use each effect of Ghoulazara once per turn, but the big thing is here, the protection clause has been really the biggest thing across the board that I've seen players using this for, and quite honestly I haven't seen a lot of good results out of it, but you know, players out here love to test new amazing ideas, so I'll give it to them for Ghoulazara, at least for the pure results I've seen. A sure amount of people testing it. Next up here is the weather forecast. So remember, this was the new field spell the weather painters got, and I'm putting this up here because weather painters have been ecstatic about this thing. So on activation, you can place the weather spell or trap card from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone. Okay, that's pretty good. You can only activate one weather forecast per turn. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. So you can use face up weather painter cards in your spell and trap card zone as material to link summon the weather link monster as if they were weather painter monsters. That was fantastic. I'm glad they did that. During the main phase immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon a weather painter monster from your hand. Now we did get another weather painter monster in this set, which kind of allows you to kind of expedite the process to make Rainbow all the easier. But the thing is here, just getting to use your spells and traps to make the link summoning process so much easier, and another activation of a weather spell and trap card from the deck, and an additional normal summon. Ladies and gentlemen, this card did everything that this deck always wanted it to do, and you've always wondered like why cards like this exist. It's to streamline archetypes to make them a lot better, and I think Konami did an excellent job with this. Next up is the Noah Punk Dino. Now, a lot of you might not be too familiar with Punk. We're not going to see, you know, this archetype till the end of the month here, but you can reveal one other Punk monster in your hand, special summon this card, or the revealed monster from your hand, which is amazing. And then the other card gets sent to the graveyard. So if you don't end up using this will go to the graveyard, vice versa. If you don't use the other one, special summon this. They work in tandem with each other. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you target one Punk monster in your graveyard except a level 5 monster and special summon it. And then you cannot special summon Noah Punk Dino for the rest of this turn. So they do lock you behind not being able to bust on another one of these, but I think that's fine. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. Initially, when we first saw this, I was actually super excited. This is definitely a really nice piece to definitely help the process here for Punk. Now, this next one, I'm just going to say straight up, you know, we could have done anything else. You know, better support would have been good, but this was 2 rank 4 Exo Sister Exceed monsters to make it. Now, why am I making this when Zeus exists, even though I think this card is phenomenal in design? Yeah, so it must be first exceed something with the above materials. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase. So, Zeus exists and F-Zero exists, but you want me to make this. Okay. Once per turn quick effect, you detach one material from this card, banish one card your opponent controls. When your opponent activates a card or effect quick effect, you could return one Exceed monster attached to this card to the extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster from the extra deck by using this card you control as material. And of course, those materials will rotate. Yeah, I still don't know why I'm making this when F-Zero exists, but you tried, Konami. Alright, I guess. Next one is Illegal Night. Now, during the main phase, if you control dual monsters, or if you control a Brave token, quick effect, special summon this card from your hand. Quick effect, if you control a Brave token, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls. Give control of this card to them, and then return the targeted cards to the hand. Now, you're probably like, why is this a good card, Robbie? First of all, in every splashable Brave engine that I've seen so far, special summon ability is pretty freaking good. Especially when you can beam out. Granted, he should have been a little bit bigger. I feel like they weakened his stats so that he'd be a little bit more fair in the regard of, I mean, you hand your opponent a monster, you don't want it to be super big here. But for a quick effect, bounce 2 on the opponent's field, they get this 2,000 attack monster. That feels really good to me. Now, granted, this is probably one of the better support cards we've got for Brave, you know, minus the token generation so far, the bounce ability on Draco back, and the Omni Negate. This sits literally like number 4, in my opinion. The weapons are bad. So far, this isn't too bad. I want to see where we go further with this, in terms of like lore and stuff, but it's not a bad card overall. Now, this card's pretty good. Whew! This thing's a level 11 Psychic Synchro monster. I can't believe they made this. While your life points are equal to or lower than your opponent's, this Synchro Summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. I'm already hearing people screech at the top of their lungs about this, and man, oh man. Okay, so completely unaffected if your life points are lower or equal to your opponent's. Okay. Once per turn, pay 1,000 life points, target 1 monster you control, 1 card your opponent controls, banish them. At the start of the battle phase, you can make this card gain attack equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's. You know, Ancient Wyvern was a very good card for the implications of like the difference of life points here. But you know what? We said we're going to take this one step further. We're going to create a level 11 Synchro with 3,500 attack points. Level 11's looking a little bit lackluster over here at this point in time. I understand a lot of players like, you know, like, we need something better. This thing is a behemoth. This is probably one of the best cards out of the set so far, in my honest opinion. Next up here was Dino Roofia Frenzy. A lot of you guys like Dino Roofia. Counter trap card Dinosaur is the deck. So during your opponent's main phase, pay half your life points. Infusion summon a Dino Roofia fusion monster from your extra deck using 1 monster from your deck and a monster from your extra deck as fusion material. When your opponent activates a card or effect while your life points are 2,000 or less, you banish this card from your graveyard. You take no damage from your opponent's card effects. You can only activate 1 of these once per turn. This entire deck's premise is pay half your life points, live the most dangerous game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You can. You're probably like, okay, so we got a really good trap card. What's our game plan here? So this is what we're making every game. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters they control with attack more than or equal to your life points. I've been riding that 200 life train. 263, 200, and that's like 262. I've been deep in the halves with this deck, and it's so good. And you can apply each of the following effects once per turn. Quick effect, pay half your life points. The attack of all monsters your opponent controls becomes equal to your life points till the end of this turn. If this card is destroyed by battle, or card effect, especially in a level 6 or lower, Dino Roofia from your graveyard. Imagine a world where your opponent has a full field. You're like, oh my god, I'm so scared. You make everything on their field 262 attack points, or whatever, and you summon Ultimate Conductor. Bop, 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 bop. Easy. Alright? Now, I just want to give a shout out here to Thurion's King Regulus. Now, the whole archetype seems pretty cool, but this one is so good. So, just because you can target a Thurion's monster and machine in your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand and equip that monster to this card. And you can only use each of the effects of this card once per turn. Send a Thurion's monster from your hand or field to the graveyard to negate an effect when your opponent activates a card or effect. Now, this is amazing in the archetype. But the thing that concerns me here is this is a generic machine extender, ladies and gentlemen. I think a lot of people like underestimate that, but you know, much like the plant ones kind of giving the backbone to this deck, yeah, this card is really good. Alright, next up here is probably one of the best cards in the set. Just says during your main phase you can conduct an additional Pendulum summon of a monsters in addition to your Pendulum summon. Yeah, this card's not busted or anything. And then so far, I think the best card in the set has been Beyond the Pendulum. Remember, it's just 2 effect monsters, including a Pendulum monster. If this card is linked summoned into the extra monster zone, pay 2,500 life points, add a Pendulum monster from deck to your hand, and then you cannot activate monster effects, and cards in your Pendulum scale are negated until you Pendulum summon. But if 2 monsters with different original levels are Pendulum summoned at the same time in the zones that this card points to, you can target 2 cards on the field and destroy them. This card's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still missing like 30 cards from Dimension Force. So much more to come. I'm super excited for what there is. And if this is what we're looking at for this set, I'm kind of worried, ladies and gentlemen. I hope something pretty crazy comes out of this sometime soon. So guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the like button, that subscribe button. So you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later with some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.